I supposed to write for an introduction? It's Pokemon. Everyone knows of Pokemon. Your granddad, neighbor, your boss, even Satan knows of Pokemon supposedly.
So Pokemon is a game that teaches children how to enter into the world of witchcraft. Pokemon World is a world of the demonic.
Jokes aside, I find it difficult to grasp the concept where people don't know of Pokemon. It's the biggest media franchise in the world after all.
Be forewarned, if you haven't been already, the hottest thing in the 12 and under set is coming soon to a theater near you. Pokemon the movie joins Pokemon the video game, and Pokemon the trading card as must-sees and must-haves.
This video is dedicated to the first generation of Pokemon. I'll only be covering the games that came out from its beginnings up until the release of Gold and Silver. Furthermore, I will try to cover everything having to do with the first generation. With that out of the way, let us get into the video. Satoshi Tajiri was born in 1965 in Machida, Tokyo. As a child, Tajiri was an avid insect collector, which inspired other kids to call him Dr. Bug. Tajiri originally wanted to become an entomologist, a scientist who studies insects, but that changed when he got to high school. As a teenager, Tajiri became fascinated with arcade machines. To the dismay of his parents, Tajiri's love of video games grew with him, to the point where he started cutting classes. This caused Tajiri to almost not graduate from high school. His parents were not happy with their son's reckless behavior towards his future, to the point where his father tried to get him a job at Tokyo Electric Power Company. Tajiri declined, and through makeup classes, he graduated high school and eventually took a 2-year college course for electronics and computer science. Tajiri dreamt of making his own video game, even to the point where he took his Famicom apart to see how it ran. He even won a contest held by Sega for video game ideas. Tajiri would start his own magazine called Game Freak, which ran from 1981 to 1986. The magazine specialized in aiding gamers with tutorials and Easter eggs. These magazines were handwritten and stapled together. While at a doujinshi shop, Ken Sugimori discovered the magazine. Impressed with it, Sugimori contacted Tajiri and got involved with the magazine, becoming the illustrator for the magazine throughout its run. In 1990, Tajiri started to create the concept for Pokemon. This was due to him seeing the Game Boy released the year prior. Tajiri was fascinated with the link cable, sparking his idea for a game which players could communicate with each other, whether it was battling or trading. Inspired from his love of bug collecting, Tajiri and Sugimori got to work for a pitch for Nintendo. When they first pitched the idea, Nintendo didn't fully grasp the concept, but were so impressed with the designs, Nintendo approved it. Originally it was going to be called Capsule Monsters, with a short form being called Capumon. Game Freak went through many names before settling on Pocket Monsters, which in short would become over here as Pokemon. During Pokemon's development, Shigeru Miyamoto acted as a mentor to Tajiri, aiding him through the creative process. While Sugimori was at the forefront of designing and drawing all 151 Pokemon, with a team fewer than 10 people, Sugimori would finalize the designs of all Pokemon and would tirelessly draw the Pokemon from different angles to aid the graphics division. Although the game was nearly scrapped due to employees leaving Game Freak and Game Freak nearly going out of business, it wasn't until Creatures Inc. stepped in that allowed Game Freak to finish the project. The game took 6 years to complete, and in 1996, Pocket Monsters Red and Pocket Monsters Green was released. The idea to release 2 separate versions with slight changes was Shigeru Miyamoto's, to influence players to interact with each other. A special edition would come out called Pocket Monster Blue later that year. The game was a massive success and helped save the Game Boy, a system that at the time was considered dead or at least dying, bringing new life to the system and maybe even saving Nintendo's handhelds. When it came to a North America release of Pokemon, Hiro Nakamura,
it is my sacred duty to see that it is destroyed.
Sorry, I've got plans for this little piece of paper, Pikachu.
Pikachu! Excuse me.
leads a small team who were in charge of making a localized version for North America. The team would rename all the Pokemon for a Western audience. They quickly learned that they couldn't just simply translate the game from Japanese to English, but instead they had to entirely reprogram the game from the beginning. Due to the longevity of the development, they would model the North American version off of Blue, updating the originals with Blue's updated program and Pokemon models, although they did keep the differences in the respected games. Supposedly, leading up to the release of Pokemon Red and Blue, Nintendo spent $50 million to promote the game for an American audience. Of course, it was a success in North America, so it must have been money well spent. A spin-off was released for the N64 called Pokemon Stadium. This game blew my mind when I was a kid. The Pokemon just looked so real, and to see them fight in such cinematics was outstanding. Pokemon has had various spin-offs and adaptations all across the medium, but none more popular as the Pokemon anime, which debuted in 1997. The original Pokemon series later changed to Pokemon Indigo League. The series follows Satoshi, known in North America as Ash. Tajiri, naming the protagonist after himself, and his rival Gary Oak in Japan is named Sugiro after his mentor Shigeru Miyamoto. Ash, a rookie from Pallet Town, would travel across Kanto with
Brock, Misty, of course, Pikachu.
And the four have misadventures while trying to collect all 8 gym badges, so Ash can fail against the Elite Four again and again and again. In 2013, a truer to the game anime adaptation was released. The title, Pokemon Origins, the anime followed the plot of the game, while also giving it a darker tone than the original anime. Origins was a mini-series which premiered before the release of the 6th generation, which I will get to in a later video. In 1998, an animated film adaptation was released of Pokemon titled Pokemon the Movie Mewtwo Strikes Back, which was later changed to Pokemon the First Movie Mewtwo Strikes Back. The movie was directed by Kunihiko Yuyama, who was the series director of the Pokemon anime. In 1999, a special edition was released of the film.
Welcome, Pokemon trainers and fans. Professor Oak here to guide you through this special edition of Pokemon, the first movie.
This version included a prologue and added new animations. An English version of the film was produced by Nintendo with 4Kids Entertainment and was licensed by Warner Bros., which was released November 10th, 1999. The film takes place during the first season of Pokemon. The movie follows Ash, Pikachu, and the rest of the main cast as they are summoned to a mysterious island by the world's greatest Pokemon trainer, alongside other trainers. The mysterious Pokemon trainer being revealed as Mewtwo, a genetically cloned Pokemon who wants to liberate Pokemon from humanity. The film was a massive success, with most critics criticizing the English dub. However, the film still made $172 million in the worldwide box office, while making an additional $58.8 million in VHS sales in 2000. A CGI remake has been announced in 2018, which will hit theaters in North America a few days after the release of the 8th Pokemon generation, Sword and Shield. In 2018, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was released. The game, which took game mechanics from the app Pokemon Go, but set up as a remake of the 1998 Pokemon Yellow. The game was in development for 2 years and was decided to be a remake of Pokemon Yellow, since a quote from Junichi Masuda stated the Pokemon Yellow version resonated more with younger fans and has more in common with the anime than the other games in the series. The game has received mostly positive reviews, but has had much criticism towards the new mechanics, which were influenced by Pokemon Go. Although 14 years before the release of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Pokemon remade Red and Green, with these remakes coming out in 2004, and was how I got into the series. The remakes would be called Leaf Green and Fire Red, although as of right now, no remake of Blue has been released, and probably won't be due to the lack of special edition remakes, excluding Pokemon Yellow version. Thank you for watching my video. If you are interested in seeing more of my videos, I have a video dedicated to Lupin III. Besides that, if you liked the video and want to see more of these Pokemon video essays done, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.